my name is Amy Vaughan, and I'm a fourth-year architecture student at the University of Texas at Austin. I'm originally from Houston, Texas, which is where I attended a very small arts high school called the High School for the Performing and Visual Arts, where I studied, you guessed it, visual art. I was interested in all things creative. I loved drawing and painting, photography and collage, but at the same time, my academic pursuits were very important to me, and I was very interested in science and math and sustainability. So when it came time to start applying to colleges and picking a major, I was pretty torn. But after looking into it, I found that architecture encompassed all of these interests and more. However, I had no experience in high school at all prior to applying to college in architecture. So after my junior year of high school, I spent a couple weeks in the summer at a pre-college program where I got to study architecture at an art college in LA. And this kind of solidified my interest in architecture and made me confident enough to apply to universities. So when I got to university, I had no idea what to expect. I had a little bit of design experience, as I mentioned, but I quickly found that the most important skill to have when starting architecture school is not design experience. While that is important, the most important skill to have would definitely be time management. This is so important because architecture school, as you've probably heard, is at times pretty intense and very rigorous in terms of pacing. And it can be very easy to get sucked into it and spend all of your time there. And while it's very important to put a good amount of time into your work, it's also important to maintain a healthy mental state. And time management is huge in this. So I found that my freshman year, I would prioritize finishing work while I was still in the mental zone of working and trying to get it all done and leave time to also be involved in other organizations outside of the school and to pursue other hobbies and things that I enjoyed outside of architecture. So for me, this looked like going on walks and runs with friends a couple times a week and participating in other organizations outside of architecture like my Bible study or events at my church in Austin. By taking care of my mental state, I was able to endure the more rigorous aspects of architecture school and avoid breakdowns and burnout, which is really important because it's a long 4 or 5 years, depending on where you go. And it's important to set up a pace that is sustainable for yourself. Another really great opportunity to look into when you're at architecture school is opportunities for real life experience. Whether it be internships or study abroad opportunities, these are really important to see what architecture looks like in a real life application. And I've been really lucky to get a couple of these experiences. After my sophomore year of school, I had an internship in Houston at a mid-sized firm that did a lot of liturgical and educational projects. So a lot of the time, these projects were crowdsourced, so the budgets were on the lower end. But this also provided a lot of interesting opportunities to learn about ways to make lower budget solutions to problems, which is very valuable. And in contrast, my current internship, which I started the spring of my junior year, and I've continued through the summer and now into the fall of this semester of my fourth year, on the total opposite side of the spectrum is a firm in Austin that does a lot of super custom high-end residential projects, which are so much fun in terms of creativity and open-endedness and freedom in that way, but also have provided for really awesome opportunities to learn about sustainability in architecture because, as you will most likely learn in your classes, sustainability is incredibly important in our field. That's something I'm super interested in making goals for different projected years. But one really great liberty of higher budget projects is the ability to include these sustainable solutions that can contribute to a more sustainable architecture and be precedents for a more sustainable tomorrow. So that's been super valuable for me. And at both opportunities, regardless of project scale or budget, They have given great experience in terms of learning software and also learning practical skills like firm management and project management. And so I would say that those are some of the most valuable experiences I've had while I've been in architecture school. On top of that, there are other opportunities that I am planning to apply for through the UT School of Architecture, including the Professional Residency Program, which we call PRP. I'm actually in the process of applying right now for that, and that is a 6-month-long internship full-time that counts as some class credits, and it's paid, and you can start gaining your experience hours that you need for licensure. And so it's this really great way that's built into the curriculum at UT to start getting that real world internship experience. So on top of that, there are also study abroad opportunities, and that is something else I'm hoping to pursue in my 5th year, and going abroad and learning about the architecture and culture of other places, which I just think is one of the most valuable opportunities that you can have during schooling and is so applicable to architecture and anything design related. Well, I'm glad I got to tell you a little bit about me, and I wish you all of the luck in your application to architecture school and your pursuit of the field.